Want to learn more about YouTube and growing your channel? Subscribe now. You're going to get value from this video.
Hello TVR creators, hello TVR universe. I'm Dave from TVR Creators and I bring you weekly value to help you build your brand here on YouTube. And on today's show I'm going to be showing you the analytics of YouTube, how it works, how you can best use it to grow your channel, and feel free to answer your questions. Now you should be able to see on the screen what I can see at any one moment in time, and just bear in mind that because of obviously different things going on, I can't always see who's on there, so please ask your questions and I will do my best to answer them here live, or if you watch this later on or a week later, or whenever you watch this live stream, feel free to ask your questions in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. But if you watch this live, let's bring on the value.
You're going to get value from this video.
Alright, so without further ado then, let's hello Sam, welcome, and anyone else who's watching this live, you all rock. So as you can see now, I am literally flying over to my channel, which will probably start showing videos. But let's just bear this in mind. No, it's not. It's showing this video. Awesome. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask away. So the first thing I just want to show you guys actually is the analytics of the basics of the video. So if you go to your manager videos, which is within your YouTube studio, you will see you'll see here some of the videos I've got going on. And let's just have a look at, okay, let's look at natural light. See what that one was saying. I can't remember how well that did. This will be interesting. Anyway, so what I would say then, you could use now obviously on your phone, I believe it shows it a little bit quicker, but basically you get the idea. So you can see here that this video got 43 average duration of people viewing, which basically means people watch roughly just under half the video before they left or whatever. That could be a combination of you know, because I've clicked on it a few times by accident, or it could be just because people prefer to the videos, and you know, and I just want to compare that to another video. So on average, you know, this goes on for 4 minutes 51, they watch roughly 2 minutes, and bear in mind, depending on the length of your video, it will make a massive difference. So for example, on one of these live streams that go on for, let's show this actually live now actually, just to give you a rough idea. So if I go to say last week's live stream, you will see, and obviously there was a gradual intake of people watching and stuff over the days, and it should, he says, so see here it's only 14, it had a big dip, and you'll find that the longer the video. So you will find if you do a shorts video, or you know, a video that's literally a minute long, you'll go, oh look, people literally watch 8%. Now it's all done on averages and stuff like that, so bear that in mind. Now also bear in mind that in this day and age, people tend to watch the quicker the video, the better. And if things, I've found, if things go on any longer than 5 to 7 minutes, you will notice a dip, possibly, especially in YouTube videos, or you'll notice people come and go, and you're seeing this graph here that people have jumped. So I can see on this live stream then from last week that, you know, there was people watching all the way through, but also there was people jumping on and off, because obviously, you know, it goes on for 45 minutes, that sort of thing, to bear that in mind. But you know, it's just an interesting way to see, and you can see from this how other videos have performed, which is really interesting. So if I go back to let's say a video that's internal microphones and internal microphones. So if you see here, if you want to know what this little graph here, I'll go into more detail in a minute. As you can see here, it's gone sort of averaged out about 42 minutes, about half the video, and this is basically, this is the type of graph that you want. You want, obviously you're always going to get people that just leave, or that for whatever reason, I won't worry about that, but what you want to try and keep is an even keel. And what a lot of my videos tend to get is between 50 and 70%, and that's what you want to aim for. And you will find over time it will either go up or down, just depending on how many people watched it and stuff like that, so bear that in mind. What I'm just briefly going to show you is some value.
You're going to get value from this video.
Alright! So, something I really want to show you guys actually, for the core fans that are watching on a weekly basis, I just want to give you an updated feel of how your channel should look, you know, once you've got at least 10-15 videos. This is what you should start to think. So you want people to be clearly able to see that this is all part of the same thing. You want people to be able to see what your channel is clearly about. So as you can see from my banner, it's quite clear that subscribe for weekly YouTube video tips. Whatever your channel was about, I highly recommend either using a template website or design it yourself on an app or Photoshop or however is easier for you, or get someone else to do it, etc. And then literally just make it really clear. You know, it could be just a picture of you or whatever, but as long as it's just really obvious, I highly recommend that. Now you've got some links here. Bear in mind, you can only see these links if I believe, no, I'm 99% certain, you can only see these links on the PC version of YouTube. But I highly recommend them to make them a subscribe button, or how to, you know, maybe click it back on your channel. I've personally just chosen other platforms that I showcase TVR creators, just so, you know, for newbies, they can see where else they can connect with us if they want to send us an in message or just see what we're up to, you know, that sort of thing. So bear that in mind if you're cross-platform. But if you're just on YouTube, I personally would recommend, and this is something I personally need to do even more of, is really concentrate on YouTube. So if you literally just want to make that a subscribe button, that is awesome, and you can do that in the settings. Then I would highly recommend you have a really nice profile picture of yourself, you know, just a little picture of you or holding whatever it is you do. I'm just holding up my favourite camera because that's, you know, what, you know, you can instantly tell, oh, it's obviously something to do with cameras. So, oh, you know, and the people that are into what you're into, they've obviously searched for that, so that's why they're in there. I've suddenly got a stiff neck for no reason. Then I'd highly recommend some sort of intro video. I tend to have my latest video just because I've just found that people tend to watch it more, and it sort of gives a clue to my, you know, to you guys, the core fans who watch every week. You know precisely you know what my newest video is. But if you want to do a channel trailer, that's a great way to introduce people to your channel. I'd highly recommend perhaps doing that. I've done that in the past. I personally I would say that everyone's journey is different here on YouTube, but I personally haven't really seen a gain by doing that. So for me, I've just made it customizable to the newest video, and you get newcomers and subscribers, and I tend to make both the same video, which is usually my newest video, unless there's something particularly happening, but that's just how I do it. Then bear in mind, you've got to have at least 5, 10, 15 videos or more before you can really do this, but at least start to think about what I'm about to say, is have your latest videos at the top. Now, I know a lot of you, in a nice possible way, do have just uploads. I've got my uploads somewhere, he says, way down here, and that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that, but I just personally feel it looks more professional, and it just looks better if you perhaps put, I don't know, Sam, for example, Lady Cut's most recent videos, and you could have a little playlist and your top 4 or 5 videos or your newest videos, and then from that that makes them more searchable on the platform. So that's a good reason to do it. And also you can add a little description. I would highly recommend all the YouTube pros, Nick Newman, Roberto Blake, Brian G, you know, I feel like I'm getting to know them all now the last 6 months. They all recommend putting a nice little description, so it just gives a bit more clarity what your channel's about, what people are going to get from your content. And for me personally, I just think it looks more professional. So I'd highly recommend at least having your 5 latest videos, and you can always, you know, take a few out if you didn't like a particular one, and you can just keep it your best. You probably know from time to time I will have like the best from TVR creators, stuff like that, and the videos that I felt have performed. And you're probably thinking, well, what do I mean by performing well? You know, ones that have gained subscribers, which you can see in the studios. I'll perhaps look at that in a bit. You can then see which ones have gained subscribers, you know, which ones have gained the most interaction, the most comments, the most likes, and you can maybe just do a best list and the videos that you're most proud of. So your newest videos you do in a minute, Sam, doing your songs with your sign language, which I think is amazing, by the way. Shout out, go and check her out. You know, that could be your highest playlist. And then I want everyone to bear in mind value. Hashtag drink more. Value. I want everyone to bear in mind it's highly important to have the videos that you want people to see at the top downwards. You know, see it as like, I don't know, a network service. I won't say name for copyrights, but you know, ones you watch stream on, you know, they will tend to have their newest films and series at the top, and then ones they really want, you know, to recommend, or newest releases, and then as you go down, it'd be, you know, not less important, but you know, older stuff. And that's sort of the idea I've gone with personally. So, you know, my newest Tuesday videos I do every Tuesday. I'm now doing my shorts video, and I try to update this depending on, you know, on performance videos. I've now got my live streams and stuff like that. And for some reason, oh no, that's because I'm gone way down. You know, so I've got my newest 2021 bite videos, my live stream. So this video will go on that after this. I've got like my bite-sized 2021s because I know a lot of you still get value from them. And I've just, you know, as you go down, you know, my films are there now. They've moved up a bit, you may have noticed. My editing tutorial, I'll probably do a new one of them at some point this year, and then, you know, that will get knocked down, a new one will go up. Do you know what I mean? So just bear in mind, so start to think of, see your channel almost like a streaming service. So, you know, you want your best playlist at the top, and you want to try and think of at least 3 or 4 playlists that you could have on your channel before you even get to just, you know, the defaults of uploads and stuff like that. So again, if you're a gaming channel, because I know there's a few of you that are gamers, you would have like different playlists for different games. You know, you'd have like Call of Duty and Red Dead and Horizon and whatever else. And I personally would say, well, which ones are performing best, make that a top playlist, and work down from there. And you know, there's lots of things you can do that. If I was doing a gaming channel, I'd probably have my best videos, best performing videos at the top as a separate playlist. Then I'd probably have like the game that performed best as a walkthrough or something. And then if I did a video on a certain game, on certain how to beat bosses or something, I'd have that as another playlist. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. And obviously if you're doing your own music, which I know some of you are, you would have things like, to pull people in, you'd probably have like covers to songs, or the best of, you know, you as a musician. And then as you go down, you'd have like your own music, maybe one-off, maybe music videos, whatever you felt was the most important. So that's something to bear in mind. Alright.
You're going to get value from this video. So if you're getting value from this video and you're enjoying the content, please give us a like and a share and subscribe to this channel.
Alright! So let's just have a brief look then to see who is here in the house. Hello Perry. So I've just looked at, hello, thank you for joining us. Hello Rosa, hello, welcome back. I believe I've seen you here before. Hello, welcome to TVR Creators. And hello Brad, welcome in again. Here we look. There he is. Yes, sort of. Yeah, so thank you. And any of you that are watching that for whatever reason aren't signed in, welcome and join in. Feel free to join in and feel part of TVR Creators. So we're going back to the analytics then of how it all looks and that sort of thing. So, you know, you're looking at your videos. So what I would highly recommend to see what works is, you know, go to a video that you know has performed well. So if I just look briefly at, let's look at a video that's done fairly well. Let's go back a little bit. There we go. So free music. Okay, that's a video that apparently has done all right. So let's just look at this then. So apparently it's had 52 views, which isn't bad. Apparently, and YouTube is telling me that's about the same as usual. So that tends to be my average over 2-3 weeks. It goes up to about 50 on an average video. Sometimes I'll get spikes of over 100, and sometimes I do like 23, and I'll think, ugh. And then what's really interesting, actually, this is something you want to bear in mind, is ultimately when you're working towards monetization, you want watch time. Obviously, you want your 1,000 subscribers, and each of them are valuable. And I value each and every one of you. If you haven't already, hit that like button if you're getting value from today's video. But you also want watch time, and it's about, it is 4,000 hours of watch time. So this video has gained me 1.2 hours, which is pretty awesome. Is that right? Have I literally just made that up? No, I've not made that up. Okay, so that's that's really cool to know, and what's really cool actually, this little graph here. Bear in mind, right? So typical performance of a video, and this can vary. So obviously now I'm doing shorts videos, I've noticed it's pulled down the averages. So bear that in mind. It's a lot to take in, but at the same time, it's interesting, no? So anyway, so this little graph here, the grayed out area is sort of the average top to bottom, depending on what, how the video's performed. And as you can see, this particular video, and I'll show you one in a minute of one that's perhaps not done so well. And as you can see, it's performed okay. It's had a nice increase and then a steady view watch. And even now, it's still getting the occasional view, which is what you want. And I looked at a video that I did 2 or 3 months ago, and it's still getting like 3 or 4 views every sort of week or so. So that's nice to see. And that's what they call evergreen. And we'll perhaps talk about that in a different video. And now, apparently the average is this. You'll probably think, God, 1 minute and 22 seconds. But you've got to bear in mind that at least a quarter to the third of your video is the bulk of the watch. If it's 30 seconds or if it's 2 hours long, it will be roughly that as the average, because you got to think, say if you get 100 people watching, 80% of them will cling on. Half of them will probably get bored after 5 minutes, no matter what the content is, and then you might get 30 or 40% of them that watch to the end, and then about 25% of them will be like your core fans who watch every week. So sort of bear that in mind as an average, and you'll see dips depending on how a video performs. And really keep track of this is something that I must admit I'm still learning, and I've learned so much about this in the last 6 months. But if you can, look at the types of videos within your channel, and it's different for everyone. So this is something I want you guys to bear in mind. Do not, and I must admit I do this, so I'm a little bit of a hypocrite, but this is the advice I want to give to you. Try not to compare your channel and your videos to other people, either within your community or just random channels you come across, because all it does is hurt you. If you think, oh, why haven't I got as much as them, or whatever, and it's just. And I must admit, hands up, I do it all the time. And I guess it's just because we're passionate about this, isn't it? I guess. But it's unhelpful. It doesn't really help us, really. It just makes us feel bad because we haven't got 1 million views in every video. So this is something I need to stop doing myself. Anyway, so you can see, and this is what I personally would call a healthy graph. So, you had the initial people that clicked on for whatever reason, didn't like it, or some of them could have been me, because I made it my default video. Every time I go on my channel or anything on my channel, sometimes it autoplay. But also you'll get 15-20% of people that just clicked on it for whatever reason, they just leave because that's just how people are. And then what you don't want is a video that literally dips down to like 15-20% if it's only 5 to 10 minutes long, and then literally goes right at the bottom and disappears. You don't want that. So, but this is quite a healthy graph. It has a dip, okay, 45%. I've had better, I've had worse. But this is a healthy one because it's just, an even keel. It's a nice glide slowly down. Just see there's a glide in the sky. You want it to glide down gradually with a soft landing. That is what you want. And what's interesting, so YouTube, only about a few weeks ago, started this blue highlight. And this highlights something that it wants you to keep track of. And the point of this is the initial 30 seconds of this particular video, and it could highlight this at other bits, or it could be the beginning of the video, and this is highlighting the most change in activity. So what YouTube recommends that you do, this is an interesting point actually, is if you watch that 30 seconds or whatever part of the video is highlighted, and you can then try to work out why more people have left or why people have stayed. And the point of that is when you make your next video, you can try and improve upon that to make your next video even better, and say, for example, get this from 45 to 60 or to 50 or 55. And then the idea is you try and get this as high as possible, because ultimately the higher you can make your average view time of one of your viewers watch your videos, say that 10 times fast, the more chance is that YouTube will show your videos. Because basically what it does is, the longer people watch a particular video, if it's 30 seconds or an hour, and works out the average, then it will show it to more people, And if those people watch the video for at least 50-60% of the video, then YouTube will show it to more, and that's how you get more views. And then, you know, that's extremely important. But obviously, you know, the flip side of that, if you get, you know, a video that's tanked, so to speak, then YouTube would go, well, in the nicest possible way, no one cares about this video. Long term, we're not going to make any money from this video, because that's ultimately what it's about for YouTube anyway. To a point, they do care about the community, so please don't think they don't, because they do. They're awesome. And then on the flip side of that, they will basically go, nah, no one likes this, see you later, and that's why you'll get a video with 5 or 10 views, because for whatever reason people just haven't liked it. YouTube's gone okay and binned it. But don't say you won't, because what I found is I'll go back to a video from a year ago and it suddenly got like 200 views. I'm like, huh? And it's because what happens over time is two months later YouTube will try again, and it will show it to a different audience, or it will try and work out who to show it to. So this is why it's really important to tag your videos, title them well if you can, or compelling, and make really good thumbnails, because basically the better your thumbnails or your titles are, and your description, because there's a new thing from YouTube, as the tags are becoming less important, but still use them for now. It uses the description to actually work out, along with the title and how long people have watched the video, but mainly the title and description of the types of people that may watch that video. So say for example, you've got, this is about the such camera, we're doing a review on this camera, you know, using the keywords, so use keywords but don't overuse it, use it in a natural way. It'll go, right, I'm going to show it to 100 people that have watched camera videos this week, and then it will see what those people think of your video, if that makes sense. So please let me know if that makes sense. Let's see if there's any questions. Hello! I will call you the cartoon person. I can't read your name, sorry. But hello, welcome back. I believe you was here last week, and you rock. Let's see what if we've had any questions. Hello, Mr. Dave. Hello. Dave's. Oh, who's going to win the Royal Rumble? Sorry, I missed that, Perry. I don't know, if I'm honest. Slightly different topic. I have no idea. I need to watch. I need to look into it more. I can usually guess, but I don't know. Don't start it off. And hello. I like all the angel faces. I like that. That's cool. Feel free to ask your questions. So yes, I will get back to the vulnerable question in a different topic. I promise. I need to have a think about that. I'm unsure this year. Right. So what you want to look at now, then, this is when we're getting on to the impressions. So when I talked about, I suddenly got really dry mouth for some reason. Wow. Value. So when you're looking at, sorry, I've lost my train of thought now. Yeah. So when I was talking about different people seeing your video and YouTube trying to work out who to send them to, YouTube calls them impressions. So I guess that term basically comes from the impression had on someone, I guess. And so basically from that, so you can see this video has been shown to, so this is when it can be a little bit like, you know, gut stabbing. So this has been shown to I can't even count or talk or anything. So this has been seen by 759 people. If you can imagine that, you know, okay, there's videos out there with millions of views, but if you can imagine 700, you know, that's like being back at school in the old assembly days, isn't it? If you imagine every single one of them has been shown the thumbnail, but obviously only 50 of them wanted to watch it. But don't be pulled back from that, because even the top, you know, even the pro content creators pretty much have similar stats, because they show all this as well, and they have, you know, 10 million impressions, but they only get, say, 40,000 people click on it. So, you know, just try and put it in perspective. You know, it's all down to numbers. It's just to try and help you out. So again, try not to get defeatist over it. So impressions click-through rate then on this particular video is 3.6. Mine vary from 2 to 5 to 6. It seems to vary. But since I've been doing just a face and a couple of words, I found it has helped on the whole. And YouTube just say you want to get this above 2, between 2 and 10. If you can beat that, I think I did have a video. One of my films once was like 14 or something, but I think that was just a one-off. And obviously it's had 52 views and unique viewers. That's a new thing. I've not seen that before. Okay, so I'm going to say those 31 are you guys. That's obviously a new feature that's creeped on. Sorry, so what's really cool then, so you get this like pyramid view here. So you get the impressions, it says different, but bear with it. So this is apparently showed over 800, just of it, you know, rubbing the ruined. 6.8% have watched it or seen it, took notice of it. 3.3% have actually clicked on it, which just gave the impressions of 20. This doesn't actually make much sense if you work the maths. I'm rubbish with maths, but in my head that makes no sense. But what I would say is more important, let's just go over to the pie graph. It's like being in maths, isn't it? And this is quite interesting actually. What you really want is to get the YouTube search as high as possible. Now I've had videos that have done 20, 30, 40%. I've had videos that don't even have any search. So what I would highly recommend when you're making a video is this sort of thing. So if you can bear with me, so you go onto YouTube, say you want to make a video, I just can't help myself. You can see the type of things I've been looking at. The Canon M50, and straight away you can see what people type in. So the Canon M50 review, Canon M50 video test, Mark II, photography, tutorial, you know, versus the Sony. So automatically that gives you a clue. Not only does this give you video ideas, but also you could perhaps put this at sort of the beginning or at the end of the title. Now they would recommend perhaps if you want it for search base, put it at the start of the video. So say for example I was doing another Canon M50 review, I would put like the Canon M50 review and then a little comma, and then I would add my own little bit of like you know, my views on this awesome Canon M50, you know, so you've got the keyword in twice and sort of test and see how it works for that. And obviously if you get a bigger name and blah blah blah, and as you get more viewers and you get a bigger community, you can add just random titles like don't miss this. And funny enough, I do test that occasionally. Like you probably noticed a few weeks ago, I think it was before Christmas, I did a video saying I quit YouTube, and because it was like that reverse psychology, that like what, that actually got more hits because people were like huh, and you know were probably clicking on it thinking what the hell's going on. So just bear that in mind. But obviously, because that's a little bit clickbaity, that's not the sort of thing I'll do on a weekly basis. I just wanted to test it out to see, you know, if it did better or worse. So I'm constantly testing, and I highly recommend you do the same. So anyway, so you get the what people have seen, so 30%, so that's sort of you guys. Browse features, so that's basically just people browse on YouTube, YouTube search. If you want to see what, here's a good little tip actually. If you want to see what's trending, which changes on a weekly basis, if you go on Google Trends, just type in Google Trends in Google, and you can type in the keyword or whatever it is you want to make a video about, and you can see if it's in fashion, not in fashion, if people are bored of it, if it's getting talked about. So bear that in mind. Something you might want to make videos about. If you're a type of channel that does stuff about what's going on in the world, you might want to see what's in the news type of thing, and then that could be part of your video, and you'd probably end up getting more views than say one of my videos, because mine are more of a general, you know, how to do filming or how to do audio, how to do lighting, and there's probably less people that look for that than say what's happening in the world or what celebrities have done whatever, you know, or what films are out. Those sort of things will get searched more because the average person is probably more interested in just general stuff rather than specific niches. But there we go, that's a whole different video. External, so that's obviously, you know, when I've sent out links to WhatsApp, you guys, which I'm actually trying to do less of, you may have noticed, just because I feel I want YouTube to do the work, and actually the more people I just try and pull in from anywhere, actually that actually hurts your videos. So I was doing it initially, and I'm trying to do it less now. I sort of like, you know, gently advertise it on Insta and Twitter, but I try not to just send everybody links like I was doing before, just because it gives false information to YouTube. So it will say, you know, it may be telling YouTube that different people are liking a video when actually the audience that I might really want it are over here, but because I've sent it to people over here, YouTube's got confused, and perhaps that's why certain videos have been hurt. So I've still haven't seen the results of that, but at the same time views aren't reflecting it, if that makes any sense. So you can also see the traffic of the external, which is quite interesting. So Facebook, WhatsApp, Didn't know Wahoo was still around, but apparently it is. And sometimes random websites will pop up from all over the place, and it's quite interesting. And these are the things that I won't go into massive detail at the minute. Engagement, we talked about that. Audience, I'm hoping it shows actually. Gender's important. This is interesting actually. When you look at the who's actually watching it, from subscribers and non-subscribers, obviously you guys. And ultimately what you want to try and do is title your video in a way where you'll get more non-subscribers. Now obviously I failed in this particular video, which is fair enough. Well, it's about even, isn't it, to be fair to myself. It's about even odds. But if you make a video that actually gets more non-subscribers, that means you've made a good search title for your video. So bear that in mind. And this is something that we're all learning. Even the pros will admit that they're learning. I was trying to work out, I can't remember off the top of my head, where you can actually find out. This is the advanced bit. Geography. And it's not doing it on this video. Well, what it normally shows is what countries the views came from, because I found that quite interesting. So the bulk of my viewership comes from America. And then I believe second is India, interestingly. And then I think it's like Canada, and then obviously here England, the UK in general. And then literally almost every country could. It's quite interesting actually. Perhaps we could do it as the channel. Perhaps that will give us more content. So if we go to that. I can't find it. This makes me look like a liar. Oh dear. Analytics, audience. There we go. Right. Oh yeah, I look at the channel stuff, but I just wanted to see, just out of interest, what it is at the minute. So apparently 64% are coming from the United Kingdom. That's interesting. Is that all? Is that everyone? You can do 90 days. Here we go. So over the last 90 days, so you can click here of 7 days, 28, 90, the last year, which is quite interesting because when I look at the growth for the last year, it's quite interesting how since I started this in sort of May time, I've had much more traffic than before when I just made a video whenever. So bear that in mind. So it is, the more videos you do, the better. But if you just look at the last 90 days, it's probably an interesting one. So apparently 12% of my viewers have came from the United States, 7.4 came from the United Kingdom, so UK is now second, India is now third at the 15 views, and then Australia. Oh yeah, I forgot about Singapore. I always find that funny because my grandparents, you may not know this, actually lived there for 3 years, way back in the day. And I always find it interesting. I always have a joke to myself that perhaps one of the old neighbours knows about my channel somehow and they're watching there from Singapore, I don't know. But anyway, and then Canada as well. I do have family in Canada, so it could be them. But yeah, I just find that interesting, and be interested. Put in the comments below where yours come from, because I just think it'd be quite funny. Just interesting to find out. Right, after the break, I'm going to look at the channel analytics, and we're going to look at that for absolute value. What's going on in the comments? Hello. Official. Hashtag drink more. Damn right. I'll see you after the break, where I'll be looking at the channel analytics to help you grow your channel. Let's bring it on.
You're going to get value from this video.
Alright, so if you've just joined us, or if you're watching live, or let's all do it together, if you've been watching it here at the beginning, I'm Dave from TVR Creators, and I make weekly YouTube tips to help you build your brand. If that sounds interesting to you, subscribe now. Now if you're getting value from today's video, smash that like button. If you want to support the channel, subscribe and watch any of our content. And also we have an awesome brand page. You can go check out our merch, where we have, and a few of you, and I thank you again, as I do all the time, and I'll thank you again anyway for those of you that have bought our mugs and t-shirts, and I think they really do bring you value. I really like this mug, and we've got some new designs on there, and I'm looking at them from time to time. So go and check it out as well. But ultimately, just by liking, commenting, subscribing, that is showing me value. And that means a lot, so thank you. Oh yeah. So let's see what's going on. Blah, blah, blah. Right, let's look at the channel analytics, he says. Right, that's got confused, so let's back out of that. Hooray! So, just to put in the live stream then, do any of you, have you got a video where it has spikes? Like, I had a couple of videos before Christmas that way spiked, way over 200 views, which I thought was pretty good for me. And they're way down there. And I was just like, wow, I was amazed by it. Where are they? Am I just getting... Yeah, here we go. So I had two here. So I've got one that's almost 300, and which was about best way to set up YouTube channel. And then the week before that, I'd done one on online deals like I did last week. And I believe the reason why they did so well actually is because I noticed there was a content creators sort of festival, if you want, event called Vid Summit. So this is something I'd recommend. So within your niche, if you know there's a festival going on or an event or something trending, if you can, make a video about it, and you will guaranteed get more than the average view, and that could help grow your channel. And I believe I did get some let's see if we can see it. I lost it now. It should tell me. Yeah, I got a subscriber from that, which is cool. I thought I had more than that, to be fair. But anyway, so because of the event of Vid Summit, I did get more views, which was really cool. And the reason why the video before it got over 250 views is, I believe, obviously because of the end card and stuff like that, or when it suggests videos, then because that was the most recent video, that would have been sort of up there. And if people enjoyed and liked the content, they would have clicked on that. And I believe that's why that got almost as much as that one. So it was like a mirror effect, which really helped my channel at the time. So I was really happy about that. As you can see here, I'll be constantly testing thumbnails. I'm going with a new look soon that you'll see. That's not out for a few weeks yet. And I'm constantly just testing new things. Who here uses, put in the comments actually, let's have a look. Who here uses, does Hulk Hogan deserve any time? Wow. Possibly. I'll say possibly. I'd rather Goldust go for a WE title, if I'm honest. Just because he never really had a proper run, as he was back in the day. That's my answer to that. I would highly... Yeah, so the question I was going to ask, what do you use to make your thumbnails? Do you use an app on your phone? Do you just take a picture and put it on the video using the YouTube Studio app? Do you use Photoshop? Do you use a website to do it? Please put in the live comments or comments afterwards what you use, just out of interest. It'd just be interesting to know. Something I would highly recommend is testing your thumbnails. It's probably easy to be on the channel now. And what I've been testing for my live videos is I've been testing just a picture of me, so it's obvious it's me, and then just, I've probably broke the rule here this week a little bit, but just no more than 2 or 3 words so it is clear as possible. I did actually make another thumbnail that literally just had 3 words, but I just decided on this one. But I've been testing like just a picture of the video to see if that was better, or doing different. I'm trying to keep the something I'd highly recommend is try and think of colours for your branding, especially if you're going in the professional route. I would highly recommend, you know, I'm trying to go for sort of white and orange. Why? Just because it's just different. So you probably notice on a lot of my videos I try and put orange somewhere, reflect it white, so you know it's our videos. I'm testing them out. And actually talking about the Vid Summit thing, there was another one really recent called CES, which is basically a tech event, which I talked about last week. So I basically hooked onto that, if you will, and I believe it has performed better than the week before, probably purely because I've mentioned CBS. So it just shows you. And then in my bite-sized videos, I've been testing again, just 2 or 3 words with my face, being crazy, because that's me. And I've been sort of looking at how they're different. It's got a few more views now, but I noticed when I didn't have my face and I just had just words and maybe just small pictures, that people didn't like it. It didn't get as much response. not as many people. I was thinking, you know, maybe people bored of my face type of thing, but you know, clearly not. But something I would recommend actually testing for your stuff personally, because I've noticed on the whole actually it can get quite a lot of views. If you're talking about something in particular, like for me about the camera, this is a good example. I've literally got the camera. It's doing the Harry Potter thing again. Literally got the camera and just the text to reinforce what the video is about without my face in it. And I found actually that that's gained quite a few views by doing that. But then as you can see, there's one there with my face in that has more views. So, you know, this is why I think you should test it. And also, this is something else that's recommended by the YouTube pros, is what works for me could be slightly different for you and vice versa. So, you know, you could find that if you just have text in your videos, they do really well. If you have thumbnails with you in them, they could do better. And I would, you know, just test it. And what works better for you could be different for me. So it's just something to bear in mind when you're making it. Now, I did try literally having a picture of SD cards as a shorts video, and that tanked. It got 17 views, which, if I'm honest, I was quite disappointed about. But I believe that was partly because I literally posted it whenever. And this is something else I'd recommend. I know I'm spouting on lots of different things, but I'd highly recommend. I've been doubled all the words. Someone give me the word. Consistency. That's it. Bring back Jim. It would be amazing, Perry. It would be. Bring back Jim Douglas. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he'll win again. Bring him back. Why not? I would definitely test that out. Hang on a sec.
You're going to get value from this video.
Alright, here we go. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, so I'm going to go into the after show in a moment where we can have a brief chat, if you will. I hope you got value from today's video. I hope you learned a few things. If you want me to go into this again, I can do, because we could talk all night about the analytics of behind the scenes of the YouTube channel and stuff like that. There's so much to really get into, but just try to use it. Just what I would take away from this, really, if you don't take anything else, you know, we always talk about bringing value and stuff like that, and that is highly important. Always have the, you know, consistency, posting the same times every week, bringing value, solving problems. Always keep that. But just on the specifics of, you know, the back end of your channel, as they like to say, just sort of keep an eye out for what videos are doing a bit better, and perhaps just as a test, as an experiment, make more of them and see what happens. There you go. So thank you again for watching. We will go into a brief after show. Thank you again. I hope you got value from today. Go and check out our Facebook community. Feel free to share your videos and ask your questions. You can find us on all major platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and watch as much of our content and share it to as many people as possible. So have a great weekend. Keep safe. And if you want to ask a few more questions, I'll be around for a minute or so in the after show. So as always, guys, you guys rock. You know, let's do it again. Let's all do it together. Let's do it in a wrestling Viney. You guys rock.
You're going to get value from this video.
All right, so have you got any questions about that? Let's have a look. Let's have a brief look in the comments. Oh yeah, just to wind you up, Perry, I think Roman Reigns might ruin movie night and maybe screw someone over or win, or AJ Styles. And I reckon AJ Styles' bodyguard will turn on him at some point. I think that's quite obvious. And as for the women, I won't be surprised if Sasha Banks ruins movie night. She seems to be getting a push at the moment. There you go. Thank you, mate. Thank you. I was. Oh yeah, actually, I'll just talk about that briefly. I'm just playing around. I'm actually just using a energy saving light today, just because the webcam prefers that. I'm trying a different angle, so I've got a bit more room. I've recently bought a little table on wheels so I can move my stuff around. Brad, thank you very much. Bought me this awesome mic arm, which is awesome. I have to be honest though, you're going to kill me. I haven't actually used the microphone for it. And the reason for that, I'm actually still using my awesome Zoom mic because for whatever reason, it just sounded fizzy. It didn't matter what I did. I was playing around with settings. I made the microphone close, further away. I've turned down the volume in case it was peaking. I don't know what I've done to it. It could be the USB cable with it. I might need to try on a USB cable. I tried it on, off. Yeah, really sorry. And I was really looking forward to use this, but the truth is, for whatever reason, it worked, but it was so fuzzy, I just couldn't really use it. So I'm sorry about that, but I won't stop trying. And I'm definitely using the arm. It looks really cool for a start, and it's just really cool. I didn't move it because it makes the microphone go funny. But basically, it's this cool arm. I can move around, make it high, low, and it's just really cool for live streaming. So if you're thinking of doing a podcast, live streaming, it is really good for that. I would highly recommend getting yourself one. Have you tried the Canon Utility app? This is very true. I have. This is something actually, good question actually. I need to try again. The computer I'm using at the moment, my live streaming computer, is basically a customised one I bought off eBay, where I use a proper Dell for my editing. And when I actually plugged in my Canon M50 by USB, for some weird reason, it worked fine. The image was incredible, obviously. But for some reason, it kept sort of flicking in and out. I don't know if I just haven't installed it right. It could be something to do with this computer. For some reason, Photoshop doesn't work on here. I thought it was my graphic card. I've now changed the graphic card and it still does it. So it's probably just this computer. But I will try again because ultimately I would love to use my Canon 50 because that would make my video look fantastic, as I'm sure you'll know. Do you use it? Welcome to TVR Creators, by the way. Sorry if you've been here before. Do you use the Canon 50? Huh. But no, I will try again. I will definitely give it a bash. And I've also got a capture card that I will reuse and perhaps put on a tripod and reuse it. I just find it's just something else to set up, as harsh as that sounds. Like I sometimes find with a webcam you can just plug in a USB, it just works. Where sometimes, you know, when you've got this microphone and that, and you're going live in 10 minutes, it's like but no, I would definitely retry that. No, thank you. Oh yes, wicked. I've heard those Sonys are awesome. Actually, I do know that Nick Newman. I can't remember the exact model. Use the Canon 6D. Oh, okay, wicked. The Canon 6D. Yeah. I've heard that's a brilliant camera, which is pretty awesome. And I know that Nick Newman actually uses the Sonys. He has 3 of them on his podcast. I can't remember which ones they are. Lighting with webcams is very tricky. Yeah, I agree with that. Actually, this is why, bad as it sounds, I haven't bothered using my softbox tonight or last week, just because, as I'm sure you'll know, as you clearly know what you're talking about. It's almost like you've got the sun blaring and the webcams, I don't know, the lenses or the sensor in the lens, I don't know, they just can't cope with any more than a little bit of light, and they just go all like, I don't know, you end up looking like a glowing Iron Man or something. It's stupid, but yeah, it's ridiculous. I did debate about maybe just trying a different webcam, but no, really I should play around my M50, and that's something I will look into the next week or so, testing out the utility again, see if I can make it work more smoothly, and if not, get my capture card back out and see if that works. It could be just this computer. Maybe this computer's just being funny. Perhaps I should get myself a second Dell, as I love Dells, and then just use that as a live stream computer. Because it would probably all work perfectly fine on that. It's just this random made up one I got. Yeah, so has anyone got any other questions? Feel free to ask away. What cameras do you use, or lights, or microphones, or Perry, I love what you do with your softboxes. I love how you do that. It makes you look like you're on the stage. I love that. I think that's wicked. how you got them behind you. You'll probably notice in a couple of my Tuesday videos, I haven't copied because I felt guilty, but I have sort of just as a light testing thing. For those of you that just came here tonight, I do use my Canon 50 for my weekly Tuesday videos, just because you got more time, it's not live and all that sort of thing. And I was just testing having a couple of lights behind me, just to sort of test out the difference. Obviously it's better, especially when you've got glasses, to have lights either side of you. Otherwise you get this horrible reflection, as I'm sure some of you will know. But I just noticed on Perry's videos, he had the soft boxes behind him. I just really like the look that they gave. It just gave that like you on the stage. I just thought that was wicked. No, you're very welcome. I genuinely mean that. I just thought it was wicked. So I did I have actually got to. I must admit, I was being a bit lazy. I haven't had the second one out for months just because and there's only so much space, isn't there? I have been looking actually at lots of other gear that I might get myself. I might get myself another camera or a second webcam, and I was thinking of like to and fro in between shots, having like like cam 1, cam 2, so it just keeps it fresh and interesting. So I could be talking and just accidentally go to cam 2 and have a camera over here, just to sort of make it like a TV show or something. I thought that would be quite cool. I was also looking at other types of lights. Now I'm still recommending the softbox lights. They are brilliant. But I was just thinking, because in the studio, which was my spare room but it's now a studio, it sometimes feels like, by the time you've got the camera and the second tripod with a mic on, and you've got one or two soft boxes and whatever else you've set up, I just feel like I'm literally like a sardine in a tin. So I've been looking at lights that are smaller. You can get like bar lights that I thought would be interesting, because you can actually adjust the brightness of them. So maybe for the webcam it might be good, but something I'd have to test. But I just thought they're just smaller, and also they're more expensive, but it could be worth it. There's also the flat ones, I can't remember what they're called now, and you can adjust the brightness, also the colours they give off, which I thought would be quite cool. And also you've probably seen a lot of content creators have different colours. Now I didn't want to just copy that for the sake of it, but I did thought I would experiment and maybe try and find my own version. So I did think about maybe getting a couple like mini lights to shine up colours around the studio, even if it's like orange and white or something like that, which is the branding of TVR. So I thought that would be something different. But again, this is something I haven't rushed to do it, because I don't just want to buy stuff for the sake of it. But at the same time, I think that'd be quite cool. And again, I also want another camera. What other things do I want? I don't know. I'm just constantly looking at ways to bring you guys more value, and looking at new gear for stuff like that. So is there anything that you guys are looking to get? Are you looking to get a new camera? Are you happy with your phone? Are there any phone creators watching who just use your phone? I have to say, if I'm honest, if you're only filming indoors and you've got a really good phone, they are pretty good. They are pretty awesome. They give off some really good light. They capture light really well. The microphones on them okay, and obviously for better content, you want an external clip-on mic or a shotgun mic, and you can get like a cage to put around your phone, or what I was talked about before with a tripod, with a phone mount on top, and obviously get yourself a softbox light or some sort of lighting, and just by having that audio, because it's 50% of your videos, I'm sure a lot of you know by now, by improving your audio and lighting, it improves your videos massively, and that's really important. But I would definitely recommend a camera. I personally have been really tempted as a second camera to get the M100, which has now been outdated by the M200, just as a secondary camera for when I'm doing thumbnails, if I want to take pictures for certain shots, or just as a second camera to film B-roll, if I want to be holding my M50, stuff like that. I know you could use your phone, but I'm sure as a creator you'll understand, it just feels more professional, doesn't it, with a camera. Or maybe get another lens for my M50 and experiment with that. There's loads of things I'm looking to do. So yeah. So anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed tonight. I've really enjoyed tonight's live stream. Thank you so much, you core fans that are still watching now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got value. I've got value from you guys. So, if nothing else, thank you. I hope you learned something, or if not, you've reinforced stuff you're thinking about. And I hope that you got basically, I just hope you got value. So anyway, I'm going to leave you now. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a great weekend. And as always, guys, as I always say, let's do it together now. You guys. Oh, one more thing. As a experiment, would you ever be interested, for this is the core fans, of a hangout video? You know, randomly once a fortnight, where I literally just come on and we just talk about value and just see where the night takes us for an hour or so. If that sounds something, that's something I've been playing with the idea of. If that sounds something you'd be interested in, please let me know. Awesome. That's just an idea. Anyway, so have a great weekend. As always, have value, get value. And as always, guys, you guys rock. Want to learn more about YouTube and growing your channel? Subscribe now.